Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a good one in store between the Houston Oilers and the Baltimore Ravens. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor at M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Oilers and the Baltimore Ravens. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. As we get a peek at the former Red Raider and 10th pick in the 2017 draft, Patrick Mahomes.
You talk about the pause that refreshes. I think it's come at a perfect time of the year for them, hasn't it? You know, the season is starting to wind down, got a little bit of a break. But how about the guy calling the signals? He's got to be excited about that because now he didn't just get a game plan for 1 week. He's able to work on it for 2 weeks. I can't wait to see if they have anything special in store for him today.
That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. On the ground, this is Jalen Richard. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. On 2nd and 12, Mahomes. That's complete to Richard, the running back. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Couple of plays sent him the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Houston. Touchdown. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. A drive there of just 4 plays, and the result, a Houston touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll be stopped just shy of the 25 with a penalty marker down. Here's the call.
Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So after the face mask, they get to start all the way up past the 35 now.
Check motion. Mike spot 4, Mike.
Now a toss play. It's Carson. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5. 2nd and 5 now. Watson looks for Parker, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
He's not going to get me.
This is Richard. And an alley to run. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain there of 21 yards.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Now they'll throw with Mahomes. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. He's going to go up top for the end. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Laquan Treadwell, his 4th touchdown on the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. They've got to be thrilled on the road right now. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, and quickly trying to make it 14-0.
Yeah, and mentioned it already. On the road, to be able to go into someone else's house and establish a start like that, obviously your confidence rises in a big way, and you're putting some doubt in their minds.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that'll make the score 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Devontae Parker was the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. To throw is Watson.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete.
Let's go, defense. Let's get off the field, defense.
On 1st down, it's Carson. Tackle there by Alex Anzalone.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd-and-1 situation.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Back to throw, Watson. And it's caught by Parker. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. Now it's Carson. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 14-0 to score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
54 down, he's coming.
They'll try the air now with Watson. Oh, he was looking for Parker, but it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll run on first down. Richard. And they'll get him down up past the 15. Trying to find some space to operate, and now they'll have it. A gain of 12, a big first down to get away from the end zone.
I guess it's good we can't really read the mind of the defensive coordinator now, huh?
Had him pinned back there deep, give up that run. Can't be happy.
Yeah, whatever's in his mind right now, we probably couldn't say over the air.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. On the draw, Richard. Oh, he sheds himself free. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 34 yards there and a first down.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. Mahomes firing complete, and he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. Mahomes will bring him up 1st and 10, and he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. Here's Mahomes to throw. Caught on the right side by Jones. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. To throw, it's Mahomes. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Corey Davis, his first touchdown on the year. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? R-A-C?
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract. Track time.
Elliott on for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. So the drive there took 6 plays. And the result, a Houston touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Here we go.
Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. Bottom line, he's got to figure things out. He's completed 3 passes, but 2 of them have been to the wrong team so far.
And when we talk about the best quarterbacks, we're usually talking about touchdown to interception ratio, aren't we? And 2 to 1 is acceptable, but the top line guys, 3 to 1 or better is what they're looking for. Now we're talking about interceptions versus completions. That's not a ratio that should ever be in any discussion.
And I don't want to harp on it, but this defense among the bottom in the league against the run, and they show it right there.
And it doesn't matter when you get prepared for this defense, whether you're good running the ball or not. That's your plan. Run the ball against them. That's their weakness. And by the way, I think you harped on it.
I did. My bad. And over the middle, this is Parker. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They run it with Carson. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
The quick slant caught. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coach. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Chris Carson, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. That seemed like a much-needed touchdown after 21 unanswered points to start the game.
It's not often that you equate a football game to a golf tournament, but it's like you don't want to shoot yourself out of the tournament too early. So they needed that touchdown to make sure that they got an opportunity to not just get back into this game, but a chance to win it later if they continue to play well.
Boswell good with the extra point, and they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a 1st down. Mahomes will bring him up 1st and 10. And he's hit on his first 9 passes now in the ballgame. There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Mahomes now 10 of 10 to start the game. How about that? As he comes up on a 1st and 10. Now throwing on 1st down and completing it. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Mahomes now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Now it's Mahomes again. His throw caught right around the 6. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit them, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Hollywood, Marquise Brown. His 17th touchdown now on the season. And his guys are going to add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Elliott good on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And the result, a Houston touchdown. This is taken at his 4. Accelerating, and off he goes. Past the 20, 10, and all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Call that a 96-yard house call on the kick return. And the Ravens cut into that lead. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. So now the other return teams out there, as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. A gain of 6 there on first. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. And not liking what he's seeing here, Mahomes is going to call a timeout, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Throwing again on 2nd down. Mahomes. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A gain there of 21 yards. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Partner, they're less than 2 minutes to go in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellas in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York. But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Kelly, and an alley to run. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started down at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. And it's the Patriots with the lead in that one. Todd Gurley with 2 touchdowns there. Next, we head north to Philly. Check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And as you see, they were losers earlier this afternoon. The Eagles just cannot buy a break as they remain winless.
We now proceed to the start of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here's Watson. Lee's got it over the middle. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. This is Carson. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd and 12, Watson got his man complete over the middle. That's Parker. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 49-yard line. Here's Carson. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. From the 50, it's Watson. Over the middle, complete. It's Parker. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 12 yards there and a first down. On first down, it's Carson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. On 2nd and 12, Watson. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. There to get a hand in and knock that one away, DJ Reed.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just drop to a point and react to the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area, and then you end up covering him almost man for man. That allows him to make more plays on the football like the one we just saw there.
Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. They will indeed snap it to Watson. And my goodness, this is incomplete. John Harbaugh not afraid to go for it this time. Doesn't work out. And as a result, possession switches hands. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Now Mahomes. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around to make a play on the football.
And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. From 6 yards. Away. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Chris Carson trotting back out there. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
Tackled by Bradley Chubb, the number 5 pick in the 2018 draft. On 2nd and 9, Watson under pressure now. Watson, and down he goes. Credit the sack to Malik Jefferson.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Watson now to throw. He's got the hook up to Lee. And he'll be out right at the 35. A good pickup there of 20 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times.
He's got daylight. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 39 yards there, a big one. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Back now in Baltimore. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Watson. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Marquise Lee, the intended target, and it'll bring up 3rd down. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Now Watson. And he's got a noon one. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The Raven passing game getting in sync. Another 1st down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. On second down, this is Jackson. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3. So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. The sack there by Bradley Chubb.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Here we go on 4th. Watson, and it is incomplete. John Harbaugh not afraid to go for it this time. Doesn't work out. And as a result, possession switches hands. That's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
They'll keep it on the ground. Richard. And down he'll go at the 25. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
First down.
Got to do better. Come on, QB, come on.
They'll run on first down. Richard. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. They'll try and run with their fullback. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's our visitors with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. That'll be good for 6, but now it's 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And the Ravens taking the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Devontae Parker, the intended receiver, but now it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Right there. 54.
Now it's Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Taco Charlton, credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Another try after the first down sack. Watson, great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Third and long. It's Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jannard Avery in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Watson going to stay out there as they'll go for it on 4th.